Today we got two massively powerful, universal level beings going head to head. Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet versus Mr. Mxyzptlk. Who comes out on top? Well, let's find out.
Eyes up. Stay sharp. Stay down. Final warning. I could do this all day.
Thanos is an Eternal with the deviant gene, making him unique and extremely powerful, even amongst his own kind. Above all else, Thanos loves and worships Mistress Death, the embodied entity of death in the Marvel Universe. Few can equal his intelligence, strength, and ambition for power. He's one of the Cosmic Cube, the Infinity Gauntlet, and even the heart of the universe. The Infinity Gauntlet is one of the most powerful artifacts in the Marvel Universe, and is composed of the 6 Infinity Gems: the Soul Gem, the Mind Gem, the Power Gem, the Time Gem, the Space Gem, and the Reality Gem. When Thanos wielded the Infinity Gauntlet, it gave him much more power than even the Cosmic Cube did, and according to the Mad Titan, it gave him the power to become God. Not a god like Thor or Hercules, but God. He also declares himself the supreme being of the universe. Not just one universe, but all universes. Now, that's not necessarily true. And saying that he's God, the supreme being of all universes, clearly shows that the power went to his head. He's a bit too full of himself, but still, it does drive home just how powerful Thanos was. Now, with the gauntlet, Thanos is able to create life from nothing, and is powerful to destroy giant red stars, wipe out entire planets without even attacking it, and devastate Asgard. He was able to overwhelm Doctor Strange with a simple hand clap from several planets away, freeze time, shatter Captain America's shield with the Power Gem alone, and easily defeat Mephisto even while they were in hell. He's durable enough to resist Master Order and Lord Chaos's attempts to erase him from existence, and withstand a blast from several abstract beings like Galactus and Mistress Death. Thanos then went on to defeat Galactus, Eon, the Stranger, Master Order and Lord Chaos, Kronos, and even defeated Eternity. The guy is an enormous threat, one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel Comics, and even wiped out half the life in the universe with a simple snap of his fingers. So, that's what we got in one corner, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. But, entering the ring, coming in the other corner, one of Superman's most powerful enemies, Mr. Mxyzptlk. Mr. Mxyzptlk is a 5th-dimensional imp with the power to do almost anything he can imagine. He could transform Superman into ashes or erase him from existence. But where's the fun in that? Though Mx is more often portrayed as merely an annoyance rather than a true out-and-out villain, he really has some of the greatest power out there. Being a 5th-dimensional imp, like Batmite and Thunderbolt, Mr. Mx is capable of virtually anything that he wants to do. Literally anything that he wants to do. He's turned the whole world into a cartoon world, transformed the world into Mix World, took away Earth's gravity, and screwed with everyone by granting everyone their wish. Time is irrelevant to him. He owns comic books, which are basically universes that he has created, actually able to break the fourth wall, and uses its ability to harass the writers. He can also use its ability to see into the future, because he can get his hands on the script. Mr. Mx is also seemingly immortal, as he has tried to commit suicide before, and he's seemingly been killed several times, but yet came back every time. On one occasion, Mx committed suicide by summoning a Doomsday and renouncing his powers, but this still didn't take. Then when Joker stole Mr. Mx's powers, it was said that Joker had the ability to destroy everything, and is even able to casually destroy and remake the universe like it was nothing. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and Mr. Mxyzptlk are easily two of the most powerful villains in all of comics. You can even call Mr. Mx a true villain. And this fight ever actually played out in comics, well, It would definitely fundamentally change or even destroy whatever universe it took place in. So, since both of these characters are at least universal in power, that means they can literally do just about anything. So, only question we really need to answer here is who is more powerful? So, who is more powerful? Let's start off by taking a look at what the Infinity Gauntlet is. The Infinity Gauntlet gives its wielders the abilities of all 6 Infinity Gems, and true masters of the Infinity Gauntlet, like Thanos, have total control over the 6 fundamental aspects of creation: power, mind, space, time, soul, and reality. The only thing that really limits the wielder of the Infinity Gauntlet would be their imagination, willpower, and strength of mind, all of which Thanos has in excess. And Thanos even said that having the Infinity Gauntlet makes you omnipotent. Although, it's important to note, omnipotent has a real different definition in comics, as everyone says they are omnipotent or nigh omnipotent. Only true omnipotent being, at least in Marvel, is the one above all. And that's why he's called the one above all. Anyways, with the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos referred to himself as God. And when he came to Mistress Death, his love, Death wouldn't even speak to him because, according to her servant, Thanos was now leagues above Death, and she actually had no authority to speak directly to him. He also said that the power of the Cosmic Cube was dwarfed by the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Yet, with the Cosmic Cube, Thanos was still able to warp reality, create life out of nothing, defeat Kronos, and become one with the universe. And Thanos said the Infinity Gauntlet was so drastically more powerful than that. He's able to destroy a planet with thought, and kill half the universe with a snap. He's able to easily freeze time and create life, and his anger alone is enough to literally shake space and time. He's omnipresent, stating that he can be everywhere and anywhere at once, is able to enter in people's minds with the Mind Gem, and is even able to control souls, manipulating Drax's soul, taking away his hatred for Thanos, and redirecting that hatred towards Silver Surfer. He's also easily battled against overpowered, abstract beings. Master Order and Lord Chaos tried to defeat Thanos with reality warping, and Thanos just easily blasted them away. Kronos tried to kill Thanos by sending him through time, but Thanos was still able to overpower him through the Time Gem. Thanos even fought against Sire Hate, Chaos, Kronos, Mephisto, one above all, the Celestial version, Eon, Galactus, Xiron, Order, Stranger, and Mistress Love. Yet all of their power combined was not enough, and Thanos still managed to overpower them and imprison all of them except for one. He then fought against Eternity one-on-one and actually took Eternity's place in the universe. Now, on the other hand, Mr. Mix is basically able to do literally anything. Anything. He's transformed whole worlds before in an instant, depowered people, and granted everyone their wildest dreams and wishes. He's able to break through the 4th dimension and interact with the writer and artist directly. He seemingly cannot be killed, and he's toyed with the mighty demon Trigon, replicated the same powers as the Spectre, and killed the Phantom Stranger, who supposedly couldn't be killed. And all this is literally just scratching the surface. And then there was a time where the Joker tricked him and gained 99% of Mix's powers, and became Emperor Joker. As Emperor Joker, he was able to effortlessly dominate the Quintessence and Darkseid, remake the universe in his image, destroy and remake the universe again, and even destroy everything. Everything that is, was, or will be. Then there's World's Funniest, which is a comic that could essentially be seen as Mr. Mix truly unleashed. It all started with Mix and Batmite arguing about who is better, Superman or Batman. This argument escalated till the Spectre had to interfere. But the Spectre couldn't do anything, and pretty soon they destroyed the Earth 1 universe. From there, Mix and Batmite destroyed Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth X, Earth S, Earth C, Post-Crisis, the DC Animated Universe, Darkseid and Apocalypse, the Dark Knight Returns universe, the Kingdom Come universe, and plenty more. They even traveled to our universe, the universe you're in right now, and would have destroyed it too, but were too freaked out by it. From there, Mr. Mix literally destroyed everything, the entire multiverse. And only Mix and Batmite remained. So they just had a laugh, recreated everything, and plan on doing it again next Tuesday. So with that, it appears that Mix is infinitely more powerful than Thanos, being able to destroy the entire multiverse. But the only problem is that World's Funniest Comic might not technically be canon. Some people say it is, some people say it isn't. Regardless, though, because Mix can still easily be seen as a multiversal being, considering that Joker with Mix's powers was able to destroy the universe, and you must be beyond the universe and more powerful than the universe in order to destroy it. So that means that in order to figure out who ultimately wins here, we need to answer two questions. With Mix being a multiversal being, in order for Thanos to make it back into the running, he has to be a multiversal being as well. Only problem is the Infinity Gauntlet has commonly been referred to as just being universal and only being able to operate in the Earth 616 universe. But is that actually true? Well, that's the first thing we need to figure out. Secondly, what is up with World's Funniest canonicity? Is it canon or is it not? Because honestly, if it is canon, well, you can just pack it up and give the victory to Mix. He destroyed the whole multiverse. But first off, is the Infinity Gauntlet multiversal or just universal? So you can definitely make an argument that the Gauntlet is multiversal. Magus used the Gauntlet with a fake reality gem to redirect the Ultimate Nullifier, which is said to be a device capable of resetting the multiverse. And then it merged another universe with Earth 616. Loki used it as a means to end all of reality. It's far more powerful than the Cosmic Cube, which Thanos already used to merge with the universe, and it's also leagues above Death, who already destroyed a universe. It's also said that the Infinity Gauntlet affected the Beyonders' realm, who are clearly multiversal beings. The problem is, you can pretty easily tear all these arguments down. There's no real substance to the argument that the Infinity Gauntlet is multiversal. Like, look at it this way. Magus redirected the Ultimate Nullifier. So what? Redirecting a blast is not the same as overpowering it. On top of that, Ultimate Nullifier isn't necessarily a multiversal weapon, and ancillary books like Marvel encyclopedias say that the Ultimate Nullifier is just a universal threat. And I get it, encyclopedias can be kinda shaky evidence, but I still think that means something, especially since pretty much every Marvel encyclopedia says the same thing. From there, Magus merging another universe with 616, Cosmic Cubes have already been used to partially merge them, bringing his new world under the Infinity Gauntlet's jurisdiction. If Loki said it could end all realities, this could just as easily mean all realities within our universe, as opposed to all realities within every universe. Then trapping a cosmic cube doesn't necessarily make it multiversal, or even more than universal, since it's just universal but its functions take priority. Look at it this way. There are a lot of universal reality warpers, who are all essentially on the same tier, but just have different levels of priority over each other's powers in the Earth 616. Then, Death didn't necessarily destroy a universe straight up, but took a universe that didn't have the concept of death, just reapplied that concept to that universe. Lastly, the Infinity Gauntlet didn't affect the Beyonders' realm, but the home of the Beyonders. And while that might not sound like an important difference, it is. The home of the Beyonders has actually been confirmed just be an alien race's universe inside the negative zone, not a realm beyond the multiverse. Then there's all the evidence that the Infinity Gauntlet is universal, as Reed Richards has directly said that the gems just have the power over the universe. Then an alternate version of Reed, with the Infinity Gauntlet, explicitly said that the Infinity Gauntlet doesn't function outside of its native universe, and Reed actually has to physically access his universe in order to use the Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet is clearly simply universal. So, moving on to our second question, what's up with World's Funniest canonicity? Well, there is a bit of debate about this, as the writer of World's Funniest considers it to be a non-canon comic, but DC has it listed as a Silver Age canon comic, and it's canon for Batmite. But I think the debate can finally be put to rest. Because you see, it was confirmed that there isn't even such a thing as a non-canon mix. Pretty much everything that DC has ever published exists as a universe inside of DC's multiverse, a lot like Marvel's Omniverse. Meanwhile, there's only one fifth dimension, and only one mix. Every alternate reality mix is actually the same mix, even if he might change his name going from universe to universe. And even the world's funniest author, Evan Dorkin, doesn't consider World's Funniest to be canon. It doesn't really matter what Dorkin thinks. It matters what DC Comics thinks. It's just like how Alan Moore doesn't own the rights to Watchmen. So now Geoff Johns has the ability to reboot a lot of what happened in Watchmen. World's Funniest was published under DC's Elseworld banner, and DC then made all Elseworld comics canon during convergence. Basically, Mr. Mix can casually destroy the entire multiverse like it was nothing, while Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet, just limited to being a universal threat. So this really isn't a fight. Mr. Mix is just infinitely more powerful. The only way that can see Thanos coming out on top is tricking Mix, using his intelligence to win. And this is possible, considering that Mix is kinda a goof, doesn't really take anything too seriously, and was captured by an amped Superman Prime and tricked by the Joker. Thanos is also always playing hardball, and unlike other villains, usually manages to come out on top in his encounters, so it's possible that he could trick and beat Mix. But in order for this to happen, Mr. Mix would have to almost want to lose. And he has repeatedly done this when going up against Superman, and if Mix was going for the victory, he'd easily come out on top. Mr. Mix is even able to break the fourth wall, enter into our real world, and could potentially erase Thanos from existence and then watching it killed twice in Avengers Endgame. If Mr. Mix wants to win, then literally nothing Thanos is throwing at him can stop him. Mr. Mxyzptlk wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, turn on notifications, join the Fanco army, and I will see you next time.